Meanwhile, in a hot tub on Krakoa.
I started thinking about how I'm sure this wonderful island would make a way for someone like me to have a baby. I mean, if I wanna. Which made me realize I didn't wanna. Seemed like a lot of trouble for something I didn't even want. I don't want a baby, Remy. Not now. Maybe not ever. It was hard enough for me to let one person in, and that was you. I don't know that I'm ready for that to change. I signed up to live this life with you.
And the cats.
Yeah, okay. And the cats. Saying something important.
You in good control now, nah? No gloves, no bracelet, no problem?
Mm-hmm. Nothing to worry about but enjoying the night together. Oh, the bubbles.
This body here is all yours, Cher. And whatever you do with it, well, I'm just happy to be included, Mom. But if you did want a kid, it'd be a good excuse to spend some time fooling around.
Oh, Remy, who needs an excuse?
That was a page from Excalibur number 6 by Teenie Howard and, who's the artist? Marcus Toe. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 117 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. I am Brett, and I am joined by my effervescent co-host, EvilJeff.
Hey, woo!
Damn, that was a steamy scene, huh?
I know. I love how it's like, I don't want a baby, now let's fuck.
We'll get into it. I don't want a baby. I loved it. So hi, welcome to episode 117.
Hello.
Typically we start this show off with some hot topics, but instead I feel like we need to make some corrections for some past mistakes from some recent episodes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you want to bring up?
Are you sure? Well, I want to bring up the fact that we reviewed Jessica Jones' Blind Spot number 1 as if it was a new book. And our friend Cody on Twitter pointed out that shit was released in 2018 and it's a reprint.
Well, I think it was just released digitally. And this is the first
time. Yeah, and then
this is the first time they're actually releasing it as a comic, like printed.
Well, according to him, it's already been printed as a graphic novel.
But this is the first time as it's just like individual issues. That's so weird. I think they did it backwards.
Right.
You do the comic,
like,
then the digital, then the graphic novel.
Right. Exactly.
But if it was 2018, didn't we read it?
Didn't we read it?
Did we read this? And both of us reviewed it and didn't remember? Because we've read it.
I gotta go back to old episodes. Did we read it?
That must be embarrassing. And no, it's even more embarrassing that no one was like, hey, on your other episode, you did this. Our fans don't have enough memory either.
Nobody knows our show.
Yeah.
Nobody, not even us.
Oh, God. What humiliations. That's the thing. There's way more corrections than that. We're fucking this up all the time.
Yeah, we are. Like, I want to point out that I think we might have referred to Vita Ayala as she last week when they prefer they pronouns, please.
Who?
Vita Ayala, who is going to be writing Children of the Atom.
Oh, they're a they.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Respect the pronouns.
Respect the pronouns. And hey, if you have trouble with it, it's okay. You just have to try.
Yeah,
don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
Right.
Anyway. And then I have a correction to put out there. And that is I recently told a woman I congratulated her on her pregnancy. But it turned out she wasn't pregnant. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just turned out she was really bloated from having drowned in a river.
Yeah. Yeah, that glow about her was actually the pallor of death.
Yes. So, yeah. God, egg on my face.
Damn. I have a correction. Okay. I thought I was drinking coffee. It turns out it's just black tea.
Oh, God. I also have a correction.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching High School Musical, the series, on Disney Plus, and right. I liked it. But now I would like to make a correction and say I didn't like it because by the 5th episode it became just really bad.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for corrections. I don't think you can get worse than that, than watching High School Musical, the TV series.
Yeah, the dead woman in the river, that was, No,
that was nothing compared to High School Musical. Our apologies, and we appreciate your patience with us. Cue the music.
It's been a while, Brad. We had to wait all week.
Oh.
But now it's finally time to exhale.
That's right. My X load is huge because I had to hold it in last week. There were 2 great books. In fact, our 2 favorites came out this week. I'm talking about Marauders and Excalibur. Number 6s, I believe, right?
And these were both so good. So good.
I mean, we are eating well. We are eating well.
Yeah.
A lot happened in these books. It's sort of like, the end of the arc, the end of the first arc. The number 6 is always in a comic book.
I mean, and that's the weird thing is usually news starts spreading of like big things that happened. Like Apocalypse died in the previous issue. And so I saw in all comic news things, it's like Apocalypse is dead, blah, 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 blah.
Ugh, even though, but hello.
Let's talk about Marauders first.
Yeah,
because a big thing happened, and it actually has an actual cliffhanger because we don't know about. There's a character that's always is a question mark of whether they can be resurrected.
Kitty, because she can't go through the gates. Why would she be able to go through the pods?
Yes. So,
although the pods, they're not Krakoan. I mean, it's the 5. It's not Krakoa.
Exactly, but that's the thing but then
we don't want to be. We want to be safe.
It's because it's just a question mark of like, can this happen? But here's the thing: is so it turns out that because where were we left off? Give a brief recap of like where we are, Brett, when we entered
where we were going into this issue. Yeah, I sure do. So they went to go save Shinobi Shaw, who was sent to Madripoor to do some black market stuff, get some mutants. He sends out a distress signal, which we thought was there's some internal affairs happening. Like we thought Sebastian Shaw was basically sending Shinobi to some sort of trap for our heroes. Turns out it was. So our Marauders are saving Shinobi Shaw from being under attack. Here come Hatemonger and Executioner. And they're working for Homines Verendi, the child former Hellfire Club. So our heroes are under siege.
Now, here's the thing. When Hatemonger and Executioner, how far back did they go?
So Hatemonger is an old. Like, I was actually surprised when Hatemonger showed up. I think... Like, Hatemonger is like an old Captain America villain.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there was a story where Hatemonger was Hitler. Like, it was Hitler under that costume.
Jesus.
Like, the Hitler, yeah. And Executioner, I can't remember the last time he showed up. I do want to say there was in either blue or gold. Maybe there was some... I could be completely making that up.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so they're battling... and then we find out that Donald Pierce is in the mix as well.
Yeah. Donald Pierce.
Here's where I'm a little foggy, is that there's, what are they, the Verendi?
Yeah, sure.
The Hellfire Kids, as I like to call them.
Can we just call them the Hellfire Kids?
Yeah, the Hellfire Kids, and then there's Donald Pierce and Shaw. So is Donald Pierce is working for the Hellfire Kids, or is he working for Shaw? Or are they all working together in one big thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the right way to look at it, but I would think that Donald Pierce is more aligned with the Hellfire Kids because he's there with Chen Zhao. Who hired the Hellfire Kids.
Oh, right. Yes. So that leads me to then, is Shinobi in on all of this as well? Because he actually, you don't really see him as part of the like,
No. Doesn't it feel like he's just bait?
Yes, but at the same time, Shaw put in Shinobi's head, hey, they are the ones that killed you.
Yeah. I mean, he's being played.
Like Emma and Kitty killed you. So then it's like maybe he is in on it. So
he's what we call a pawn.
Yes. And then can I just say, Kitty coming onto the ship, seeing fucking, and her and Storm, seeing fucking Donald Pierce and being like, fuck no.
Hell no.
Their battle and like Storm just fucking blowing him off. And the running joke of like, can those limbs float?
Yeah. Turns out no. I mean, it's Donald Pierce, though. He has to be aligned with Shaw, right? Maybe it's just coincidence, but I mean, these are, this is like Jacob Marley, Ebenezer Scrooge. Like, these are two business partners. Hello.
Yeah.
This is like Black King, White King kind of shit.
I bet you he has him involved because he probably maybe wants him to be the Red King.
Oh, yeah. He wants to build, he wants
Although
his old
he's not a mutant,
club.
so I guess he wouldn't know. I guess.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, so he couldn't be. I wonder, does he have someone in mind of who he wants, what mutant he'd want to put in place?
I don't know. Harry Leland.
Oh, I wonder if that's right. They're resurrected. Fat old Leland with his gravity fat powers.
That guy. One thing I want to point out is something that happens to Pyro.
Oh, yeah. Bring that up.
Pyro gets injected by the Executioner with something. It turns out he gets injected with Yellow Jacket, who is now using Pyro as a camera. Yellow Jacket is inside Pyro, tiny.
Is Yellow Jacket as a bad guy?
Yeah, man. Didn't you see Ant-Man?
Oh, right. Okay. I was just thinking, wasn't Henry Pym at one point Yellow Jacket?
Oh, sure. Okay. I never heard of a bad Yellow Jacket until the movie Ant-Man, honestly. When the villain was announced as Yellow Jacket, I was like, isn't that Hank Pym?
Yeah, but has bad Yellow Jacket been introduced in...
Yeah, in the comics,
already?
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I need to catch up. Okay.
Yeah. So bad Yellow Jacket is inside Pyro, and from that situation, we get probably my favorite data page ever.
Oh, them describing what Bishop and him were doing. I love how at the end he's like, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I would love to see like a face turn by Yellow Jacket who's like, I don't know, I just kind of dig Pyro. He's chill. What I love that Yellow Jacket sees is what the rest of the ship looks like. And he finds Emma's wardrobe.
Just all white. White.
All white outfits, as far as the eye can see, including lingerie, which Pyro is kind of holding up to himself. And Yellow Jacket's like, you know what? I think it would look good on him.
What was that?
He says it.
Yellow Jacket gay?
He says he could rock it.
I know. There was something gay about the whole... I don't know. What's Pyro's deal, too? It's just hard to tell.
I know, right?
British people seem gay, so it's tough.
I think Pyro wouldn't mind getting his dick sucked.
There's
I think Pyro's like, a mouse, mate.
Yeah. I would love that. If Iceman and him, if he was just like, I'll let you suck me off. And then Bobby's like, okay.
Bobby can't now because, as established in this issue, Bobby has got a side hustle.
It was established in that?
In this issue?
Oh, but you mean...
Bobby has a side hustle.
What's the
I'm cueing you to talk about Drag Race. I'm cueing you.
Oh, God. Sorry. I thought... I see my dirty mind. I thought you were talking about sex. Like, talking about some guy he's fucking.
No,
he's premiering as someone who works for, technically, I guess, RuPaul. I work for Val.
We do.
Studios, who makes RuPaul's Drag Race. Apparently, Bobby Drake is a guest judge on the upcoming season, which is season 12, which they just dropped. So he's an upcoming judge. But what did Storm say? Where she's like, well, he's just like, well, you know, I mean, if I have to do it, but, you know, I am going to be a guest judge. Can I go? And then Storm says something like, well, clearly he has the more important thing to do.
Storm loves Drag Race.
I bet you Storm is like, RuPaul has been fingering all of my poses. Like,
oh, no shit.
You've been fingering the poses I've liberated.
Yeah, I bet in the 616, RuPaul bases everything off Aurora Monroe.
There is actually a Drag Race contestant who mainly dresses up as Storm, called Dax !
Oh, I've heard of her.
Yeah, and her main thing is dressing up as Storm, but she wasn't allowed to do it on the show.
Ugh.
Oh, as a little side note, 2 of the queens this season are Jan Sport and a New York queen called Britta Filter.
I know. Oh, Britta Filter. Yeah.
But they have to just go by Britta and Jan because they weren't able to get the clearances.
Amazing.
For their names. So the poor drag queens can't go by their full names.
They should just bleep out their last names so people who don't know think they have dirty names.
Yeah. Well, that's what Alaska Thunderfuck had to just go by Alaska when she was on.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
So, Iceman is killing it. And is he sleeping with Christian? That's right?
I mean, I think they are. However,
Christian is bad.
We've learned Christian's bad. Christian is he's kind of working with Shaw.
But it seems like his main thing is he's betraying Kitty and his sister so that he can have Bobby all to himself.
Ooh, is that why?
Yeah, because he was like, oh, this way Bobby won't be following Kitty around and will have more time with you. That's what he says. That was his selling point to Christian.
It is?
You didn't remember that? Yes.
And I surmise that's why Iceman won't... Oh, I love this.
So
love this.
Let's rewind, and I want to see what is going on with that. I bet you Bobby is like, I don't want anything serious, and Christian's like, I love you.
Christian just wants an Omega on his team. Don't you think that's it?
Well, Christian, but why would he betray his sister for an Omega?
He wants that dick.
He wants
that
the
ice
dick.
pick.
Like what team? For what? What is Christian? What does he care? What
on his little boat? Yeah. What does he care?
What does he care? Why would he betray his sister to get
Christian
Iceman on his
Bobby.
boat, other than for dick? It's for dick. Anyway.
Oh my God, Emma's gonna be so mad. She's gonna be like, "You betrayed me for dick."
She's like, "All right, well,
She's like, I allow.
Or if it's funny, you betrayed me. And he's like, but it was for dick. And she's like, all right.
Very good.
But then comes Shaw, shows up with some Krakoan seeds and traps Kitty, knowing that she can't phase out of them.
Yeah.
And this is where shit gets real. He basically does the full villain monologue and gives her the whole thing. Because here's the deal. He's like, I'm going to kill you now. And she's like, I'll fucking come back. And he's like, I don't think so.
Will you?
I don't think you will. And here's the other thing is they download their memories every week, right? So that's the one thing that I thought about. When a mutant dies and they're resurrected, they don't remember dying.
You don't, exactly.
They don't remember because it's not up to their moment of death. It's just up to the last time Xavier downloaded all their memories. So even if she dies and gets resurrected, she's not going to fucking remember this. And I will say
love
this
shit.
If she wakes up and like, Shaw, I'm going to get you, I will be the first being like, no.
Well, maybe they hit memory activate right before she died. Maybe
bullshit.
That time of the week was, I know. What are the odds? I know. Let me tell you, this Krakoa stuff, it is some fertile soil for some storytelling. It's just so dense and rich. There's so many things.
Who thought not having any character be able to die would actually make it more interesting? I thought that would make it all boring.
Jonathan Hickman.
But he fucking murders Kitty Pryde.
And Lockheed.
She's dead. But Lockheed
may
can't be
not
resurrected.
be dead.
I don't think Lockheed's dead, especially because he can't be resurrected, so they can't fucking kill Lockheed. If they kill Lockheed, I will.
Oh my god.
Then she basically is like, you can kill me, but don't kill him. Oh
my god. So I am so... And I looked at the next few releases. I feel like we're going to get 2 issues of Marauders. Like, I think there's like 2 weeks apart, 2 issues. Ooh. 2 issues in February. I hope so. I think I'm right. I think so. I don't know. I'm never right about anything.
Fuck.
Excalibur, though.
But that's the thing, is that was so good. That was my second favorite X book this week.
Insane.
Excalibur is the best at having relationships, intrigue, plot twists, and really good battles. Like, all happening at the same time. That's so hard to do in one issue.
With, like, a deep mythology, all of a sudden. Outside of the whole Krakoa stuff, or, like, born from the Krakoa stuff. A whole other world.
And this is what's interesting, is it opens up, so Apocalypse dies, Rogue absorbs him, but then he immediately comes back, and he's like, being on the Security Council, the Quiet Council, I get resurrected, like, I can
cut the line.
Yeah, so he just shows back up, and Betsy's like, I got this, I don't fucking need you, and he's like, bitch, you do. You do need me.
But you do.
And he sets up a ceasefire and does a battle to the death between Brian Braddock and Betsy Braddock.
They're twins.
And here's the interesting thing, is as he tells Morgan Le Fay, that's who it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He tells Morgan, like, hey, he's like, well, we'll ceasefire. And then she's like, fine, we will win. And he's like, yeah, well, you will win. And Betsy will just die, and then we'll resurrect her.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, fine, ha, 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 ha. But that's not really the plan.
No.
They have a different plan. And we don't really know what the plan is, but I think Betsy and Apocalypse know the plan. And that's what I think was also so good about this, is like, you're reading this being like, she seems really struggled, and I'm reading it like, well, you clearly have to die. You can't kill your brother. What are you struggling about? And she's like, what am I going to do?
Kill my brother.
But she's going to kill her brother. And you're like, what? Yeah. What? But they have in their back pocket the other brother, Reality Warper, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up and then brings him back to life, and now he's cured.
Yeah.
And they won. And Morgan is locked up.
And Jamie's king of that part of Otherworld.
Yeah. And because it was basically like, this Otherworld is going to start encroaching on our thing, and we need someone who can handle all of that mystical energy with his reality warping powers. And he won't be on Krakoa anymore, and he'll be out of everybody's hair.
Right. But he's one of us.
Yeah. And that's where it comes to what I find is the most interesting thing, is Apocalypse has been alive for millennia.
Yeah.
And this is the first time Apocalypse is like, you know what? It's not just going to be my thing. I'm going to do their thing. I'm going to do their thing and see how, and show, and see how this works. And the sad thing is that nobody wants to trust him. And I don't know if we should trust him, but he's making everyone better. And it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. He's creating the world of mutant magic. Also, he's
and the Coven,
elevating
if you look
everybody.
at it, like, Richter is now like almost like a sorcerer ground person, like Earth mover. Like, everyone is acting at their highest
like
level of their powers.
Level. Yeah.
And Remy is not here for it at all. Gambit is like, fuck him. And Rogue is even the one being, and even Betsy doesn't trust him, but Rogue is the one being like, I think maybe this is all okay. Or do you
Rogue is also the one who's calling him by his Krakoan name.
Do you think there's going to be a twist where Apocalypse betrays everybody? Or do you think he's on board with all of this?
I mean, I think ultimately everybody's on board with all of it. He's going to pull some shit, but the whole point is like they're all on the same side. And
yeah. Because it's like, hey, I did things behind your back and did this, but it was all for the greater good, and you're all better for it. Because I was right. And I didn't have time to explain it all to you. I kind of love Apocalypse.
Me too, man.
And then Rogue, I was disappointed. I kind of wanted her to have the Apocalypse powers for longer.
The Apocalypse face. I don't care about the powers. I just want
that
to
would have been great
like
if Remy was like trying to fuck. Because we were talking about that, like Remy
She's
would
like,
have
kiss
to
me.
fuck her, and he's like, I can't with those fucking like ribbons on your face.
She's also in control of her powers, which we kind of got in Mr. and Mrs. X. But then she had like a bracelet. But then she realized it was because of fear that she wasn't able to control her powers, and then she couldn't control them again. But she seems good.
Yeah, she seems good. So good that she's just like, oh, Krakoa wants me to have a baby? Fuck your baby. Fuck your baby.
She started talking about like having some really weird dream where they were holding her down and like telling her like, you have to have a baby, Rogue. You have to have a baby. Ooh, that was creepy. That was like some Rosemary's Baby shit.
Yeah. Do you think that was real?
I think it's going to happen. It felt foreboding.
Yeah, I'm excited for all of that. So weird. But Rogue's just like, I feel like I shouldn't have to have a baby if I don't want to, which makes me. I have a question. What is their mode of protection? Birth control.
Oh, they're doing it like they did in ancient Greece. They're having sex in a steamy hot tub, which kills sperm.
Yeah, well, cut to a few months later, she will be pregnant because that is.
Oh, absolutely.
I can imagine her being pregnant, being like, "But we had sex in a hot tub," and like Rachel or
like they used to do.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't know, but man, I would love if like all the other X-women were all of a sudden pregnant, and they're like, "Rogue, why aren't you pregnant, Rogue? Join us."
That would be an amazing run if everyone had to get pregnant and had baby. What if that's what Children of the Atom is?
Stop! No, that's not what it is.
What if Children of the Atom is where they're all forced to have babies and then they just, rather than letting them be babies, they're forced to be aged?
Stop.
I like that.
Oh, yeah?
But that's not what it's about. But anyway.
No, it's not. But like Krakoa is like one step away from getting weird Midsommar cult. Like I can see that being like, babies.
Oh, I would love that. But then there's an interesting thing of where we cut to Brian and Betsy. Brian is back, and Brian's basically like, has this always been the thing where you choose between the sword and the amulet?
Yeah. The whole thing of Captain Britain is that he chooses the amulet.
Yes. So, but then why is there a sword if he never chooses it? Are there any other characters from other dimensions that have chosen the sword? Or if you chose the sword...
I'm sure.
But if you choose the sword, you're not Captain Britain, so then do you still keep the sword?
It's like, I don't know, you're not noble, I know that. You're not like Britain's champion. You're kind of a jerk, is always.
But do you still have the sword and have powers?
I think so, because
that sounds like a better
he
deal.
does.
I would choose the sword.
Right?
Because then I don't have to be beholden to anybody.
They're twinsies, so they do what twinsies do, and Betsy has the amulet, Brian has the sword, which he's like, I hate the sword. The sword means you're a jerk. And he's like, but you always like swords. And she's like, I have always liked swords. And he's like, so, you want to switch? And she's like, yeah. So,
but then what does that mean he's Captain Britain again?
He's a Captain Britain. I think my take was they're the Captain's Britain. And he's got the amulet and he looks like, just a lovely updated take on his original costume.
Yes.
Love it.
I always love the costume.
Me too.
No,
I am sad that
my favorite version of that costume. Remember in the first few issues of Excalibur where he had to like go back to that, but he's so much more muscular.
Oof,
so he was wearing his original costume, but his like muscles were bulging out. Yeah. It was like a half top.
Yes, I remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Alan Davis, Brian Braddock from early Excalibur.
So sexy.
Yeah.
So I guess so. They're both Captain Britain, and there's a future. Oh wait, before we get into the. Well, actually, I'll bring it up now. In the future solicitations, it shows that Betsy, that Britain and Krakoa declare war on each other.
Fuck yeah.
Well, fuck Betsy, because Betsy's like, ooh, what do I do?
Yeah.
So she's like caught in the middle of that.
And they're all going to be like, we want Brian. England's going to be like, we want Brian. We want Brian.
But then we end things with Apocalypse just fully dissecting Morgan Le Fay.
While she's alive.
Yeah.
He's sucking juices out of her. And it's real gross. But he finds some kind of compound according to the data page.
It's like a
compound
mystical.
Y.
So it's like he's using science to collect magic.
Magical, yeah, substances, yeah.
I was confused of this last data page of like what this meant.
I got to tell you, the grimoire pages of Excalibur have confused me throughout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. I don't get it, but whatever. It's fun. It's great. I love it.
I do love it.
So good. So good.
And them's were our X books for the week.
But we read other shit.
We sure did. Isn't that right, Miss Jackson?
Dun, 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 dun. What have you read for me lately? What else have you read, Brett?
Girl, what haven't I read? Oh, actually, that's a long list. I have read the new Guardians of the Galaxy #1.
Well, I read it too. It's like, number one? I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
But here, can I just complain for a second? Guardians of the Galaxy and Champions have both reset again to #1. Champions has been around for less than 4 years, and this is the 3rd or 4th reset? Stop it! Just let the numbers continue. Stop!
Yeah, it feels like every time there's a new creative team, it's like, back to #1.
Back to #1, and then it's like, guess what? If you keep making #1s over and over again, you're not increasing. I feel like it's not really going to increase the sales in the end because you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, let it get to issue 50.
I feel like it is.
Get it to issue 50. Won't that sell?
Nothing sells like a #1.
Fuck, then just let them all be #1s. Every issue is a fucking
every week.
#1.
Every week, #1. Every week is number.
I'm just fucking over
every
it.
title.
Ugh.
All right, calm down.
But Guardians of the Galaxy is back. Looks like Rocket Raccoon. Or what is he?
Wears a suit.
What's his name? He's not, because he hates Raccoon.
Well, it's Rocket Raccoon.
But no, he called himself something else.
His original name, Ranger Rocket.
Ranger Rocket, that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's kind of survived his near-death experience.
Yeah, he was. All his parts were replaced.
Yeah, and it looks like everybody. But is his voice? It looks like his voice is weak. Has it always been like that?
Oh no, that's always been. That's always.
He's always talked like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're all just like on vacation. Like, we're retired. We don't have to.
We're having dinner. We're having. They're literally having Thanksgiving dinner.
And they don't understand turkey.
I love that both the aliens are like, I'm not eating that because of its weird skin. And when you think about it, turkey does have weird skin.
But that's what makes it delicious.
I know.
Anyway.
I know. This is written by Al Ewing and drawn by Juan Cabal. Al Ewing is the guy that's doing the Immortal Hulk and half of Valkyrie. There should be a book about Jane Foster Hulk, and we call it Valkyrie.
I love that.
Yeah, but anyway, so Al Ewing, I mean, he's like top dog at Marvel up there. He's up there, and he's writing this book. So big, so huge.
So in this world, it looks like the old gods were reborn, and now they just want to destroy everything.
Yeah, like Zeus and Apollo and Athena. They've all been like, they're all bad now.
Who was the one with the harp?
Oh, isn't that Apollo?
Is that Apollo? Okay, yeah, that was Apollo.
Yeah.
Then who was the other one? Was that Athena?
Mercury?
No, Mercury was the one that
running
the
god of boundaries.
Yeah, so I was just confused. Then who was was that Athena? Was with
Athena
Zeus?
was the one who's like, I can smell you.
No, that was Hestia, the goddess of the hunt.
Yeah, Athena, Hestia, same thing.
No, that they're two different people. Athena is... Oh. Maybe that was Athena. Anyway, I felt they should have been like, hey, Athena, because I was a little like, who was you?
Yeah. So Zeus had a man and a lady with him. And then there was more men's and ladies in Olympus. That's all I know. Yeah. And they're the Greek gods.
But Gamora was like, no, we don't do this anymore.
Gamora's like, look, Al Ewing does not want me on his team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drax and Gamora are like, the author does not want us on this team. So we are going to say no.
And Groot isn't even on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Al Ewing's like, I don't want the Guardians of the Galaxy on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you.
Who decided Groot talking was a good idea?
I know, right? It's been happening for a while now.
I know, but it's awful. It's stupid. You ruined him.
I agree.
Yeah, it's like when Rajesh from Big Bang Theory finally was able to talk to women.
I don't understand anything you just said.
One of the characters couldn't talk to women. He had a mental disorder where he couldn't talk when a woman was in the room. And finally, after 8 seasons, they were like, "This is too hard to write around," and then they like made him able to talk to women.
So happy that show went for more than 8 seasons.
12, I think.
That's horrible. That's why Joker got nominated, because the world is horrible. Because the world is horrible. So we've got Marvel Boy, we've got Nova, we've got Phyla and Moondragon. Like, these are our new Guardians.
Yes.
And we have one joining us at the end, which I was very happy about, because he's very bisexual in my head canon and in some regular canon.
Hercules!
I was so happy when the reveal character at the end of the book was Hercules. I like him.
Yeah, it was fun, but it's like one of those things where it's like, it's still too much setup right now before... You know, I get a little bored with pilots in general and like one issue because it's all set up. So it's like, get to the fun stuff. But I think it'll be fun. I'll keep reading it.
So I don't know if you've gotten this far. I don't know if you, but something we'll talk about later also involves these old gods or some old gods coming back and being super evil.
What?
We'll talk about it later. I'll bring it up later. Okay. We're talking about comic books.
Oh, you're talking about... Oh, okay. I thought you meant in the Marvel Universe.
No, I wish.
Okay. What about... what else did I read? Ew. I read a DC book.
Ew.
Oh, I also tried to read Fantastic Four, but it was stupid, so I stopped.
That book, yeah, not a hit.
Yeah.
Not a hit.
Because I was like, maybe Franklin's in it and they're setting something up. And they're like, nope. I was like, nope, don't care. But I read the next Superman. Just starting.
Why?
Because I like to torture myself. And as horrible as it is, Brian K. Bendis is Brian. Wait, did I just call him Brian K. Bendis?
Yep.
I just should be put to sleep. I am going through Alzheimer's. Brian Michael Bendis, he is easy to read. Like, although it's like, this is bad, I can still read it. Where some people write stuff and I'm like, oh, I can't even get through this. But this one, it's basically, he gets fired from the Daily Planet because he's Superman.
Wouldn't you want Superman working for you?
But then he's but after the whole thing, you're fired and blah, 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 blah. But Superman is hired. Like, that was the big twist. So now he has to write as Superman. And
thanks, I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the main... Then there was like another thing where there's like a United Planets Federation that's forming, and then he's helping with that. And then there's some bad guy that looks like Darkseid that's not Darkseid, but I don't know what he is. And then Superman was like battling him at the end. And then I was like, it's awful. I don't care. So, ew.
Oh, you need to stop. I think you Superman and Brian K. Bendis need a clean break.
Brian K. Bendis. Where did that come from in my brain?
Brian K. Vaughan?
There you go. See, there's always a connection.
Think?
There's a connection somewhere there.
Always.
All right.
Well, I read a DC book as well.
What did you read?
I read Wonder Twins number 11.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even realize that was out. Oh, I would have read that too. What happened?
It's so good. It's so good. I loved it.
I wasted my time on a DC, like, not reading a...
So Philomath, that's the father, not the friend. It's the father who was
trapped,
a villain.
Right?
Not anymore. They freed him.
In this issue, or did I miss an issue where they freed him?
I missed an issue too, because I guess in Wonder Twins number 10, they freed him from the Phantom Zone.
And is the daughter grateful, or is she still a little cunt?
She is. No, she's friends with them again. Yeah. She's totally cool. She's not a cunt anymore. So they destroyed his house in the process, and they had to sell all of his personal belongings for some reason.
Yeah.
Again, missed it. But a gay couple bought an old computer of his that had a program on it called Colonel 86. Colonel 86 is this kind of, it's like early AI. And he was created in 1986. In 1989, Philomath created this kind of like AI upgrade for Colonel 86 and totally corrupted him. So Philomath like trapped or imprisoned this early AI, Colonel 86, who when it's on computer screens looks like an old man with a monocle and a mustache. Okay. So this gay couple bought this computer and they've connected Colonel 86 to the internet, and Colonel 86, this old program, has taken over the internet. It's globally taken over the internet. But its sensibilities are of that of the 80s. So Colonel 86 is trying to bring everyone back to the pre-digital age. So like there's like an airplane, and the onboard computer all of a sudden is Colonel 86. And he's like, what is this? A computer on an airplane? Airplanes don't have computers. You don't need that. And he destroys the computer in the airplane and sends the airplane crashing. So in its mission of bringing everything back to the way it was in 1986, it's fucking shit up.
Wait, so
everywhere.
he just murdered a bunch of people on a plane?
I think the plane was saved by Superman. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he just did it to one plane, not all the planes?
Well, that's just one example of what's happening all over the globe.
Okay.
I'm sure other people died.
Superman saved that one, but hundreds of other planes, everyone has perished.
So who is completely on board with Colonel 86 bringing everything back to the way things used to be?
Who?
Old white men.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Message.
Because old white men are on board, Lex Luthor and his whole Fox News enterprise gets on board. And they, like Lex News, are pro Colonel 86.
Oh, Jesus. What happened to the gay couple?
So the gay couple is trying to fix it. They're trying to destroy it. They're the ones who fucked it all up, and they've got what's known as the source computer. So they're trying to destroy Colonel 86, who is fighting them off, and then decides to destroy them. Why? Because one of them said something about being married to the other one, and Colonel 86 was like, what? 2 men?
Oh, no.
So he starts digitally annulling gay marriages all over the planet.
Oh, my God. I have to read this.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, my God. I'm so pissed that I didn't read it. But yeah, I have to read this. This sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it is basically like the Wonder Twins versus MAGA, and it is so fucking great. Mark Russell is the best satirical writer in comic books, period.
Does he do anything for Marvel ever?
No, I don't think so. Okay. Not that I know of.
Have you read anything else?
Well, I give that one ew, because it was fantastic.
Fabulous.
And that was it.
I read a bunch of other stuff, but hit me. I decided to catch up on the new Buffy universe.
Ooh, how is it?
Because now it's Buffy, there's Angel, and then there's one called Hellmouth. And the Hellmouth has been opened by Drusilla. And so Buffy and Angel have entered the Hellmouth to fight it. So that's its own comic. And then meanwhile, the people left over without Angel and Buffy is the Buffy comic with just the Scooby Gang. And then Angel is Gunn, Fred, and Spike versus Wolfram and Hart. You've watched and read, you remember all the Buffys. Like, you watched all the Buffys, right?
Yeah.
But here's the cool thing. When Buffy entered the Hellmouth, because she entered Hell, it means she technically died. So who do you think shows up? Let's see how much you remember. A new Slayer shows up.
Faith?
No. Do you remember the one before Faith?
No.
Kendra, the Black Slayer, shows up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, it's just, I don't want to, like, sit there and just describe the plots of all of them because it's, like, too convoluted and it would take forever. But each one of them are so good. They're so good. And and it's basically taking all of these characters and just resetting it in the present and just telling just a brand new story and a brand new take. And it's great because the person who's writing it, it's still those characters, but he's made them so much more interesting. The only thing that's bothering me is there's a dagger and they keep referring it to as the key.
Oh,
and
Dawn.
I'm just scared they're going to turn this dagger into Dawn, and I will be mad because I hate Dawn. Anyway, if you are looking for something to get in on and want to binge read, I highly recommend reading all of the Buffy Angel comics. It's a new universe. It's starting completely fresh as if these characters are in high school in 2019, and I love it. I recommend it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
But why read when there's so much good stuff on TV?
Are we gonna get critical?
Let's get critical.
Let's get critical. All right. Well, let's start with a show that we've already seen that's already premiered.
Yeah.
Magicians episode 2. Now, granted, was I high when I watched it? Yes.
Yes.
Am I starting to experience clear dementia where I can't remember names of anything? Yes.
Brian K. Yes.
Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson. Although, in all fairness, I could totally see what your brain is doing there. But yes.
The plot line with Margot.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What's happening? I kept getting confused.
Yeah, they just kept trying to... It's easy.
Well, she just kept trying to redo time. But I guess I was confused with the whole bees. And then I think finally I had to rewind it twice. And it was like, oh, she sent the bees back. And then,
to deliver a message.
But then they killed him.
But then because Josh is allergic.
Yes.
Yeah, so they just keep changing the past in order to save Josh and Fen. And the reason Elliot and Margot don't get affected is because they sprayed themselves with that permanence body spray.
Yes.
So they're immune to the effects of time changes.
Yes.
But they figured it out. So they just basically said, okay, Josh and Fen, go to the guy who lives in the heart of Fillory, the clock man who we met in the first episode, and have him fast forward you 300 years.
No, but bring him a ham sandwich.
But bring him a ham sandwich so that he'll send you to our future, essentially. And he does. Then they're reunited. Yay! But now they all have to figure out how to go back and save Fillory, I guess, from the Dark King.
And also the fact that they're 300 years in the future, so they can't go back to Earth. I would love it if they went back to Earth for a minute and it was 300 years in the future just to see what that was about. Oh
my God. Yeah, so the alignment between Fillory and the Earth is fucked up because of the magical surge. So their times are misaligned. So who knows? If they went back to Earth, who knows where they would wind up?
Yeah. Can we also talk about Katie's storyline?
Yeah, that was amazing.
But it has bisexual actor Jake Choi, who I want all over my body.
Yeah,
And
he
of course,
is.
they gave him a sex scene too. Yes. But then, of course, because I like him, he's in this. He's in a gay movie where he's like a photographer, and then there's he's taking photos of a famous actor that's in the closet, and then they like start this affair. Like,
oh my God.
It's good. Anyway, and he's on the show Single Parents with Taram Killam.
Oh, that's where I know him from. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like kind of all like bro-y and hot.
He's like a bro dude.
Yeah, but then just knowing that he's like does sleep with guys in real life, just anyway. I was like super excited. Like, is he gonna be a regular? And then I looked it up while watching the episode, and it just said 1 episode. I'm like, oh, he's gonna die.
Oh, he's dead. I did like him though. So he's basically like a Manchurian candidate, which they even reference, assassin. So people hire him and they give him a card with a symbol on it. And when he looks at the symbol, he enters a different state of mind and becomes a killer. But then when he reverts back after the deal is done, he doesn't remember. It was a really good line where she's like, you don't you're purposefully wiping your own mind. He's like, I don't want the stuff that I do on my conscience. And she's like, that's the reason we have a conscience, is so you don't do that shit. Loved that. Loved it.
Yeah. And then she had some kind of powerful things about being sober. You know, where she's like, when I had my mind wiped, I thought that I got drunk. And
we thought
relaxed.
It was a hangover. Yeah.
And she was like, and I was like relieved because it's like so much pressure having to be sober. And it was like, oh, that's so sad. There's also
really
something
good
where it's like you can still also tell she still is hurt that Penny doesn't love her.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that they're still kind of revisiting that. I kind of would love it if he starts to feel things for her and then there's kind of like a love triangle with Julia.
Oh, that's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And now meanwhile, Julia, who wants to go on this mission to save the world, she needs to find... They realize that there's like moments of convergence where the overuse of magic, like where it converges in certain points where then it causes explosions and stuff. So she's like trying to figure out how to predict them and find them.
Yeah,
I love that she goes.
They're called circumstances.
Yeah. So she goes to find this woman that can help, and as she goes to find her, she blows up.
Yeah.
Which they called her Professor X.
Professor X, because she's Dean Fogg's ex-girlfriend.
She's like, you mean like the X-Men? You're like, no, it's my ex-girlfriend.
No, X, like my ex-girlfriend. And I think I read that the notion of circumstances is actually something pretty prevalent in the books. And fans of the books are always wondering why the circumstances never really played into the story. But evidently it's like, wow, it's a reference to the books that came way later than book fans were expecting in the show.
But they brought it back.
They're
Fan
still
service.
Yeah, they're still paying homage to them books. It's really good. And Alice is still heartbroken over Quentin's death. So she finds like something in Quentin's bedroom or among his belongings that's coded, and she can't read it, a page from a book she can't read. So she resurrects a golem of Quentin to read the book, but she winds up resurrecting a 12-year-old version of Quentin, who it turns out is a 12-year-old and can't read the book, but that's what Alice's subconscious wanted. She wanted him to not be able to do the thing she needs him to do so his story doesn't end.
And then it turns out basically he just... What was the thing that then he was there for her? Because he...
To tell her that.
Yeah.
To tell her, like, look...
Yeah.
The reason you brought me back in this form is because you didn't want me to be able to read it, because if I did, then Quentin's story is over and you don't want it to end. What you don't realize is that his gift to you was not his life, it was yours.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Start living it.
That was really powerful. Yeah.
And then she's able to make the golem disappear.
But Alice and Julia are going to team up to stop the apocalypse, and I'm all for that. Team it up.
It was a really well-written episode in terms of these poignant human moments. It was really good.
And my boyfriend was like building a Lego set. So he was like in the background while it was on. And at the end of it, he finally just went, hey, you know what? This show's good. And I'm like, hello. Hey. Yes.
Yeah, I always have to watch stuff. My husband, he's not a nerd, so he's not as excited as I am for something like a Sabrina.
Yeah. Which
we'll talk about in a second. But when I'm like, do you mind if I watch The Magicians? He's like, oh no, I like that one.
I wish The Magicians had more like, because it's like when you watch The Magicians, you love The Magicians, but I feel like it doesn't have, like, I wish The Magicians was like Game of Thrones popular.
Yeah.
I feel like it deserves that. Anyway.
Yeah, there's one other guy at my job who, I used to work in Chicago. I moved away. I work from home now. And there's a guy in the Chicago office who loves The Magicians also. And he messaged me. He's so lonely because he keeps trying to bring it up to other people. And somebody yelled at him like, nobody watches The Magicians. And he's like, Brett did. Brett watched it.
That's how I feel. I mean, that's what I'm so happy I can do this podcast, because there's so much shit I can't talk about X-Men with anyone else because I don't really know anyone else that reads it.
I know.
Or I run into someone, they're like, oh, I only read the trade, so I'm not caught up. I'm like, well, fuck you.
Oh, and then there goes that potential X-Men friend after you told him to fuck off.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God. Well, listen, there's another show that debuted, which we watched and are, I think, probably very excited about.
Sabrina.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season 3 on Netflix. Goddamn, I love this show so much.
I have a complaint about it.
Go ahead.
I feel like they were shooting their wad a little too much. I feel like that they were like, I mean, here, spoilers. I'm giving away all the spoilers right now, but now you're Queen of Hell. Now the kids are grown up. Like, it was just like, now it was like, I felt like I felt like they just were going so many steps too, like, so fast. And usually I complain that things are going too slow. I just feel like they're going, and I like it and I love it, but I feel like they're just going too fast. I feel like her being the leader of hell is like too...
But that's the premise for this season.
Too much.
It's the premise. She's Queen of Hell now. That's Season 3, when Sabrina's Queen of Hell.
All right. Anyway, you watched 4 episodes. I only watched 2.
Yeah. You know what, though, Sabrina? There's a lot of really sexy guys on this show. I can't handle it.
Okay.
I can't handle it.
First of all, I mean, let's talk about the sexiest guy on the show.
Harvey?
No. What? Really? That's who you think is the sexiest?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. No, I'm Nick. I'm Nick all the way. Team Nick.
I can't handle Harvey. I can't handle him.
If Harvey was like, do you want a bone? I would be naked and I would rip my clothes off instantly, of course. But Nick, even in the opening where he's like trapped in hell in that jester outfit, that, half naked, with
collar.
That little neck collar thing. Ooh, I was like, why is that hot? Sabrina's dad, Lucifer.
Yeah,
Lucifer is hot.
The Dark Lord. Let's also talk about the fact that, so Nick, we left season 2 with Nick using his own body to trap Lucifer, to trap the Dark Lord inside of him. So they cut to the torment that's happening inside Nick to keep the Dark Lord trapped. And it takes the form of a shirtless wrestling match that Nick can't stop thinking about.
Yeah. Whew. Sorry, Sabrina.
I can't stop thinking about your dad. I am hot and wet thinking about it.
But the one thing that I am annoyed about is the one character that I thought was gay but turns out to be bi is her cousin.
I know! They super made Ambrose straight.
Well, he's not straight.
I mean,
he's bi.
He's bi.
He's bi, but I'm just like, can we like have them break up so we can date a guy again?
Thank you. I liked Ambrose better when he was dating men. That's why I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to have Ambrose's bisexual pendulum swing the other way, then let's make this Satan and Nick stuff happen. Like, give me...
Well, now the only gay thing is with the trans man now meets a guy, and they're going to be in a relationship. So that's the only gay thing that's going on now.
Theo.
And I need more gay stuff.
The guy...
Well, don't give anything away. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Don't give anything away.
His name is Robin. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, is that a character in the Archie comics?
No, I'm covering because I was going to spoil something for you. And
it's that he's trans too? Or they are trans? Are they all theys? Are they... No. Now I'm pronoun confused.
What? It's a show about good people and bad people. What do you think?
Oh, he's bad. Oh, they're all...
He's bad. They're all bad. He's bad.
God damn it.
He's bad.
What's the trans character's name again?
Theo.
Theo can't catch a break.
I know. Poor Theo.
Anyway, I really liked the ice cream bad guy. The ice cream salesman bad guy. That was super creepy.
The pedophile ice cream man.
Yeah, that was super creepy. Yeah, it was really fun. I will say, the one thing that I don't buy is why Sabrina just won't tell her aunts everything.
Oh, because then you're not going to have the scene where they find out and get super pissed.
I know, but it's like, but why would you not tell them? Like, they wouldn't, like...
Why would you not tell your parents anything you've done? Because you know they're going to get very angry.
I know, but at this point, because I'm on episode 2, so don't give anything away, but she becomes the, like, queen of hell, and then they're just like, you lied to us about Nick, and it's like, you still haven't said that you're the leader of hell. They're praying to Lilith, not knowing they should be praying to you.
Oh, yeah.
Does that come out in the later episodes that you've seen?
Of course it does.
So I was excited for that.
Do you think Aunt Zelda is happy about it?
I know, but I'm still like, you're the queen of hell. You can fucking tell your aunts whatever the fuck you want because you're the queen of hell. I do think it is funny that she's the queen of hell, but she's scared to tell her aunts that she's the queen of hell.
Her Aunt Zelda is very scary.
Yes.
And still one of my favorite fucking characters on the planet. Oh.
And then the other thing is now the guy from Jeffrey from Coupling. What's
Caliban?
No. Caliban. We'll get to him in a second. No, the high priest. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. I forget. Yeah.
He now has Satan was
inside of him.
Yeah. So that's fun. And I'm
and Nick.
But also,
did you get to the scene where Nick keeps showing up in the prison? And Satan's like, why do you keep visiting me?
No, I haven't gotten to that. Because they're gay. But I also think when they decided to transfer his body out, it's like, why would you take your biggest enemy and transfer him inside your other biggest enemy?
They got to do something with that
seems
character.
Like a dumb idea. But I immediately knew when the 2 kids came out as sacrifices, I immediately knew that those were... As soon as he said 15 years, I'm like, that's the... That's them.
Yep.
That's the kids.
So great.
Anyway, it's super fun. It's just what I needed right now. I do wish that they timed it for Halloween. I wish it was like the Halloween time.
I know.
Like it's because the first season I think was around Halloween, and it was like perfect. It was like, this is what I need. When fall hits, I want scary shit, scary supernatural shit.
I know. Hey, do you know what else I want to ask you about TV-wise? Did you catch up on The Good Place?
I did. Isn't it? The last few episodes feel like the end of the show, but it's still not over.
Well, I just think it's, and big spoilers for The Good Place, amazing.
Yeah.
That after, what is this, the 5th season?
The 4th.
The 4th season, we're finally going to The Good Place. After 50 episodes.
They get to The Good Place.
We're actually going to The Good Place.
And it turns out, of course...
It's horrible.
It's horrible. And it's hard, and it's explained about it being horrible by guest star Lisa Kudrow.
Amazing.
Which is amazing. But it is a thing. It does bring up the idea that if you're in utter paradise for eternity, that's awful.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
They become happiness zombies.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, great.
And
all my dreams.
And one of my close friends was in it, and I was screaming.
Who?
When Tahani's talking to one of the guys, and he's like, "Yeah, I got cut, and I died from a cut, and now people."
Oh yeah, the Phoenician.
That's like one of my close friends, Dave Danapor. I was like, I do improv with him all the time. Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, Good Place is great, and there's only one episode left. It's like going to be a big finale, like a long episode. Sad. Yeah, but I mean, it's at this point, like, where else is it going to go?
Exactly. End it. Make it great. There is another show though that's just beginning its new season, like we said earlier, season 12 of the Drag Race.
Yes.
the Drag Race.
Of the Drag Race. Someone clearly has not watched it. But as you say, I work there, and I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. You guys, you can't tell WoW that I did this. But I kind of brought some footage.
Oh my God.
Some behind the scenes footage. And this is actually just the mics. So whenever a drag queen is walking down the runway, they have to do puns and give puns describing their outfit. That ends up in the show. I have just the raw audio of when Bobby Drake Iceman is a guest star. He's a guest judge on one of the seasons. I have the audio of him and RuPaul trying to do the puns on the dresses.
Oh my God. Can we hear it?
Yes. Here we go. All right. Let it begin, girls. Okay, all right. So now they're going to walk down. Bobby, they're going to walk down. It's the unicorn runway. And so when they walk down, I want you to give me, girl, your best little puns on their outfits. So any unicorn pun is related. All right, here's the first contestant, Britta.
I'm so good at puns. Okay.
All right. Oh, look at that. Oh, someone's got me in the unicorn hole. It's your turn, Bobby.
Ice baby, am I right?
All right. Okay, can we cut?
What?
That was good. Unicorn puns, not ice puns. This isn't about you. This is about their outfit.
Got it. Roger. Got it.
Okay. All right. Here they come out. Oh, is that a horn in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
You are like fabulous cube.
All right.
How is that?
Can we cut for a second, Bobby?
Yes.
Bobby, I'm going to give you one more chance, and you need to do a pun that doesn't have to do with ice. Every single thing we've been doing. Ice.
Yes.
And I know we probably should have done an ice-themed one for you here.
But
frankly, we didn't want you here, and then I met this woman named Miss Frost, and the next thing I know, we have you on. So I don't.
Emma's a good friend. She's an ally.
I don't know what that was about. All right, so here we go. Here's our next contestant. Oh, look at that. You've got me so horny.
Oh, baby, my bussy is cold.
All right. One, you still did a cold thing. And two, we never say the word bussy. Bussy is banned on the Drag Race lot. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. That's it, Bobby.
I'm sorry.
You're fired. Get out. You know what? We're gonna get some non-mutant to replace you. We're gonna get Neil Patrick Harris. So beat it. Oh God, you're making everything cold. Oh,
take that. I'm an Omega.
Wow, that was intense. Yeah, that caused a lot of damage on the set. So.
Oh, it did. Are you okay?
I'm not. I work in a different. I'm not where they shoot it, so I'm in a different.
Okay.
So I was fine.
Oh, thank God.
But people wouldn't shut up about it.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, good for him. He'll get it. He'll get there.
He tried.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everybody. That was episode 117, which I think is a prime number. I'm Brett. This is my co-host, EvilJeff.
Hey.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind, if you are a fan of the show, please tell the world by giving us a review. And ask your friends if they'd subscribe.
Yeah, and just to let you know, if you read comics, well, I hate to break it to you, but that makes you
queer. Bye.
Bye.
Shazam.